보이지 않아 왜 문자 하나에 다 담길까 그 많은 얘기가 마주보고 하긴 어색한 마음 하얀 종이 위
So this is the last in the series. We got up really early, it's just about 5:30 in the morning. The reason I was doing the last series today was because I wanted to use the drone to get the sunrise, but it's foggy. So I'm hoping by the time I get to my destination that it will be better. So let's get off. So as I said, the weather app stated that this morning would be a great morning because it was going to be sunny, so I could record the sunrise, but obviously not. Now as you can see on the map, where you see me on the map is where you see me on the video. So the idea is to travel along the cycle path into the forest, follow, it's probably about 4 kilometers away, and then head to the lake, which is called Rögle-Dama. It's essentially a fishing lake, and I just thought this would be a great place to video, do a painting early in the morning.
푸른 밤 수놓던 그 말들이 생각이 안 나 그래도 이런 내 맘 하나 줘 이 세상 그 누구보다 더 소중한데 내일은 친구 말고 연인 사이 Cause you are my baby 세상 그 누구보다 더 소중한데.
So, this is the last episode of Walk, Paint, Relax. As it's been a long journey, I've learnt a lot. You'll see that there's a difference between the first and the last. At the end of this episode, I will just analyse very quickly kind of the main points that I've learnt, and I'll probably do that as a separate YouTube video to help people who want to video and do these type of things in the future. The plan was, so there's 2 paintings I'm going to do today. They're very close to each other, they're very close to my home. It's about 5 kilometres away from my home, and the idea was to find a really sunny morning as the sun comes up, use my drone to capture the footage. But as you can see, there's no sun, so I don't know what the weather app was saying. It never mentioned fog, and it's definitely not sunny. When I originally envisioned this idea, this was one of the spots I was thinking of, and the other spot I was thinking of was down the road, and on both occasions it was sunny in my head. Now the view that I'm actually going to paint, so that's probably going to be the view that I'll paint.
the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right. Moments pass, make this one count. Untied. You're so good at dragging yourself down. Why? Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the laser, your doubts. There's a heart gone out of rhythm in despair. Held underwater, fire for air. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors around. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your fears bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die.
Right, let's go to the next painting location.
Take your time, fall in line someday. It's hard to win, hard to pin one day. I look out for you to soothe away the blues in your eyes. Take a stand, move your hand someday. In your eyes, no disguise one day. I look out for you to soothe away the blues in your eyes.
best things about cycling is going downhill. It's great.
In your
I'll say hello. So I'm on location. They've got a view there. Do a bit of painting. That's the view that we're doing over there. Which, when this goes up on YouTube, let's get the voice recorder. So what I do is record the sounds of nature. I don't know if you can hear a wood pigeon in the distance. And for now, this is going to pick up my voice for the YouTube channel. Hopefully. One thing I've noticed is on the iPhone and iPad is that it can very easily slip when you're busy trying to get your video ready to start recording. It can very easily slip into slow-mo or time-lapse. I'm not sure that really matters for the iPad because I've got it a bit of a distance away recording just over there. So it's not really recording the sound, but I did one in Simrishamn, which is near the coast, recently. That was the last episode, episode 7. And I did the first bit on Instagram Live. I was going to do Twitch Live, but I couldn't connect this to the phone to get the stream going. So, but once Instagram had finished, I was recording normal. And as I started to record, I recorded the first painting session and then the first 4 kilometres. And when I got back home and I was checking the footage, that first bit was hyperlapse. And the thing is with hyperlapse, not only do you lose all those frames in between, so if you try to slow it down, it's not the same, it's just jittery. But you lose the sound as well, so everything you said at the time is gone. Unless you're using this, but I wasn't because I'd put it away. I didn't think I needed to record in my voice all the time, like I am now. It's just one of my learning points. Anyway, let's get painting. Then I can have my coffee and relax.
I heard you say you found the story all tucked away.
Lots of stuff from me. Funny, innit? I mean, I don't drink alcohol, so funny you get alcohol vodka that looks exactly like water, so people can put it in a bottle and then drink it like people know.
Of our day-to-day routine in the
One of nature's, I won't say secrets, but right, so what we got? We got a bit of blue.
We're not in mourning.
Do a bit of blue.
It takes more than will.
Actually, I'm going to use the bigger sheet. That was the previous one, wasn't it? It isn't finished.
The day that passes on will somehow be gone.
I do like that there's barely anybody about. I guess it's because it's a Saturday morning. If it's been a weekday, I think this would have been really busy. This time it's about, what is it? 7:05. Done well to get everything I want done in this time. I really well want.
Among the things I like to do.
Probably with painting out like this is that I mean, unless you've got loads and loads of time, which when I'm doing these I don't tend to. I should really make the time for just doing these for the day, but so much to do. Part of the problem is it'll come to me. You don't have time to wait for it to dry. You've got to find ways around it by starting to do other bits. It's always work. Right, we've got a white house there. Look, try to paint in a very basic white house. I should have left a gap for that because the paper's white. Should have just left a space for it, shouldn't I? That would have given more sense thing to do. Wait, thinking about art, I was listening to one of my lectures. So I'm just starting my second year of university in England as a fine arts student. It's one of the reasons I'm doing this series. And over the past few days I've been re-listening to the lectures, and one of the lectures is entitled, one of the essays we have to do is called "What is Art?" And we sent away to do research to try to find out what other people have said about art and get evidence and so on. And in my research, I found that quite a lot of that before before the 19th century, so the 18th century, 17th century, 16th century and before, art took the place of photography in a sense because they had no way to capture reality. So when people painted landscapes, it was to photograph it effectively, it was to imitate it. When people did paintings of people, it was effectively a photograph because they were just trying to capture what was there. There was no adding extras in a lot of cases. I'm not saying that's all cases, so this is just the research that I've done. Then photography came along and everybody said, oh, painting's dead, nobody's going to want to be interested in painting. But that's actually when art really started. And then people started to look at art, before photography as well. But something struck me yesterday. I mean, it's said that art is, they say it's embodied meaning, which basically means that when you create art, you're kind of creating a message. There's something embodied within the art, and you've got to, when the person, the viewer, comes to look at the art, they need to try to unravel what that secret is, what that message is, what going through the, what is making the artist put the paint in that particular place or the clay in that particular place, etc. And so it's like saying it's an embodied meaning. And my wife said to me yesterday, she said, have a look at this paint, this drawing it was. It was one on Instagram, and it's one of these realistic. So somebody had I think it was digital, but I don't know, maybe it was a pencil, but they'd drawn, a clicking pencil. There's a special word for it, I can't think what it is off the top of my head. They'd drawn just a huge one. It was a huge pencil they'd drawn, and it looked so realistic you thought you could pick it up. And my wife said, So would you class that as art? And I said, in aesthetic sense, it's an art in the sense that it's great to look at and it shows they've got talent. There's amazing talent there. And I think something that also that my tutor said is that Bob Ross, who does some amazing paintings, is a hobby artist. He's not. You would never see his paintings in a gallery, like in Manchester Art Gallery or London Tate, the Tate Modern or anything, because it's hobby art. So I explained to my wife that art is more when, and feel free to correct me, but art is more about creating a message in a sense. There are emotions and thoughts and feelings going through your head when you're painting. There's a reason you're painting, there's a reason you're putting that black there or that red there or that cloud in that way, or maybe it's some nude painting or something and there's a particular pose they're doing, or you know, and it's about reading that message behind it and say, could you say, I wonder what's the message about that pen, that pencil that's been painted, or Bob Ross's paintings? And generally there's no message behind those. There's no message there. It's amazing art, don't get me wrong, but it's not what they would call art that you would get in an art gallery. So I think that's something to think about. Is there a message that lies behind that painting or that photograph or that sculpture? You know, and quite often when you look in art galleries, the more unique oddities that you see, there's a lot more to read from them, and sometimes it's you need other people to point that out. But that's what really opened up art to me, is that it's not just putting your pen to paper, it's about the emotion behind it, it's about thought behind it, about why did I choose that house. I mean, a lot of what I paint tends to be aesthetically pleasing, but it's also got me thinking, should it be really? There's nothing wrong with that, but should I be painting, you know, with messages? And I think that's something over the next year of my art course, is that I really need to put that into practice. And I'll be doing some sessions in the studio once I go back in September. I know it's September now. It's about 2.5 weeks time I'll start again. I will be doing some live Twitch sessions. I'm putting stuff onto YouTube. Because I find it really difficult to paint at home, to paint out in the open. I'm getting better at it, and I think that's a lot better than it would have been previously. I'm going to finish that off at home. I'm going to have a bit of coffee now, bite to eat, then we're done. So this is the last of the series now. This was, funny enough, was the first idea I had. This view, this bench, sitting here doing this was everything I had in mind when the very first time I thought of doing this. And it's weird that it wasn't my first one. I think the reason it wasn't my first one was because if you look back at episode 1, I'm doing a walk, so I walk to the location and it's about 2 kilometers away, 3 kilometers. And so I just saw a view of from Dalby, and I just thought that looks a great view. So that's nice and simple to do for the first one. The second one was a bit further down the road because the rapeseed yellow fields were in bloom. That seemed like a really good idea to do that as well. I think I've got everything I need. Definitely, yeah, it's not on slow-mo, is it? No, it's on video. Can't believe I videoed in slow-mo. And my watch has been on sleep. Apple have this thing called sleep. What? I don't finish my sentences. That's one thing my wife tells me off all the time. But it just reminded me. But yes, slow motion is not going to be any use to anyone. So this is the end of the series. It'll be up on YouTube soon, within the next week, and it's the last one that I'm doing of any of them until probably up to end of September, October. I'm hiring some equipment from the university, so maybe the quality will improve and I put all my learnings into place, and I'll be doing walks along the canals and the coastlines in the UK. Do some in the Lake District, maybe towards the end next year, maybe, because it'll be a longer series because it's going to be September through till May basically. And then we'll see. I'm just going to put this in a location to record the bird sound, so it's not picking me up. I'm going to do it just over here because I can hear a bird. So that is the end of Series 1 in Sweden. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I've learnt so much, and this will really help me towards my second year of my course in Sweden, in the UK, sorry. It really helped me with my second year at Fine Art University over in England. Keep your eye out in end of September, beginning of October for Series 2. I'm going to do, the first one is going to be, my plan, the first one is going to be a walk from Manchester Centre all the way up the canal towards Todmorden, maybe to Hebden Bridge. So I will say thank you for watching. I'm now just going to sit back with a bit of a coffee. Got my coffee here. Just look at the view. So I'll leave you to look at the view with me.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's grey outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. How come the trees get undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes, until winter comes. It really makes me wonder.